Cubby blue blood flowing through our veins. Sitting in the bleachers in the rain. We've shed a million tears and drank as many old-style beers out at the game. Let's go, Cubby, Son Ranto.
Michael Cotton.
Son Ranto.
Michael Cotton.
Son Ranto and the lovable Lucy.
Lucho Scali.
Son Ranto.
Michael.
Son Ranto.
Cotton.
Son Ranto and the lovable Lucy.
Michael Cotton.
Son Ranto.
Lucho Scali.
Son Ranto! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Lyle and David Elliott and Chris Salato. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. For my birthday, I thought Michael was ordering sandwiches and having sent to each of our respective houses, but instead he had 3 sandwiches sent to his house, and he's going to eat all 3 of them while Danny and I record.
Oh my God. Like, yeah, for everybody, Lyle had a great idea. He's like, let's have sandwiches on the show. I thought that's a wonderful idea. I love making sandwiches. I show up with sandwiches. These 2 jokers, no sandwiches.
I'm in my 50s now. I can't remember shit. So I need constant reminders. Like 3-4 times a day, I need to be reminded of just little things. And I still forget to do them because all of a sudden a fucking squirrel runs by and I'm like, oh, squirrel. And
you also need to stay away. You need to stay away from processed meats and most dairy too. So sandwiches and the gluten thing, like you shouldn't be eating a sandwich. Really, the mayonnaise is bad for you. Just have a salad, my friend, to stay alive.
Yep.
Well, so I just had to maul that. I just mauled that sandwich in like 2 minutes. I just
gone?
it down. It's gone.
Well, what kind of sandwich was it, Michael?
Oh, dude, it was amazing. It's a spinach wrap, right, to start with. Some mayo. Got some shredded mozzarella cheese, salt and pepper.
Skin better. What else?
Fresh mushrooms, onions, bell peppers. Did I say salt and pepper? Yeah. Pickles, tomatoes.
It's like a veggie
salami
wrap.
And pepperoni.
Wait,
salami. Yeah.
Salami and pepperoni. Okay. You waited a long time for the
meat.
Well,
big guns.
You put that on. You like. I just said it the way it was stacked, right?
Okay.
You got to put that stuff on top when you're doing a wrap.
Yeah.
And I know a wrap isn't exactly a sandwich, but I'm not quite 50. But I'm still, you got to watch all those carbs. So.
Listen, we can't even decide if a hot dog is
a hot dog is a sandwich. A wrap is definitely a sandwich. So everybody can just go to fucking hell. It's my birthday, and I say so.
If you were to have a sandwich, Lyle, of your choice, what would be your go-to sandwich that you would have for your birthday on your birthday sandwich meal?
Usually something very healthy, and it's usually a chicken parm.
That's not healthy. Well, the chicken part, yeah.
the fried and breaded chicken part.
Yeah, I would go. I mean, I love a freaking beef sandwich dipped with the peppers and the cheese. You know,
just bring me to Johnny's and I'm there, dude. Johnny's is to me a number one. It's the best beef. I don't care what anyone says.
I agree. My uncle lives out by the original Johnny's, and every time we go to the cemetery, we end up getting Johnny's. So now I have this weird association of death and beef. It's really a very Chicago specific.
Well, guess what? The more of those you eat, the closer to death you become. So
the closer I get to that cemetery, myself.
Yeah.
Well, we're only here right now because of our Patreon supporters and all 105 of you. You guys rock. You can join us for only $1 at patreon.com/Bleacher Bunch and support all the great shows on the Bleacher Bunch network, which is on the Fans First Sports Network as well. So anyway, we're also brought to you by Matt Kammerer's Permanent Paintings and his incredible Etsy store. Woo! And, of course, In the Clutch shirts, so you'll hear a commercial for them later on in the program. What else? Hashtag Chance in the chat. You can win a Frank Chance postcard sent to you by me with a message of love and doom and be eligible to win a great prize at the end of the year. And anyway, we got to talk a little bit about yesterday because you could see me and Michael are sporting the exact same South Bend Cubs white brimmed hat that we're going to struggle to keep clean. For
Not a chance. There's going to be Danny's going to have a mustard fingerprint on it next time he's at a game.
Yeah, I had to run and grab a napkin real quick there because the second I start to touch this, it's going to be Justin Turner's shit-stained jersey all over it.
Yeah.
And so we were at the South Bend Cubs game in celebration of another birthday. Ranter David Elliott turned 40 years old. And man, that was a long time ago for me and Lyle and Michael.
9 years.
So, well, for me, for Lyle, it's 11. For me, it's only 10.
That's what I'm saying. Me 9 because I'm the youngster. I'm the kid.
But anyway, we had a great time. We got to sit in the owner's box and got some delicious hot dog. Those cookies, the ridiculously good cookies in the owner's box. Plus, we get some beers and where they have the pulled pork and the hot. So
listen, you're burying the lead, Danny. I mean, it was a birthday party, so I guess you said that, but you sang the anthem, dude. You fucking rocked, man. I had some random friends of mine who know you through me or other people like, Ruby, like sent me a message last night. Be like, yep. She's like, I'm in tears. Danny's so good. She's like, I literally just teared up watching him do this. It's so good. I was like, yep. Still got it.
I'll play it later. Maybe at the end of the show, I'll play me doing the anthem so everybody that didn't get a chance. But it's all on the social medias. I don't need to really play it right now.
There's a little blackout at the end because he grabs his crotch and spits on home plate.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that was Roseanne.
Yeah. And I go, fuck the Cardinals. It's incredible.
It's incredible.
Yeah, they had to cut. They had to cut away real quick though from that. The good thing they're on delay. Otherwise, I could have been arrested.
There is going to be a point, Danny, that's going to come to an end for you. Like all great singers, it just comes to a point you're like, I don't want to keep doing this. I've hit my 60s. My voice doesn't feel as good. I'm not enjoying it. So on your last one, you really got to go out with a bang, and you should really give a good fuck the Cardinals. And
and
I'm never doing this again anyway. Never coming back.
I'm going to be like a monkey at the zoo. I'm going to start throwing poop. It's going to be incredible. I'm going out with a real bag. Shit right into my hand. It'll be
it'll wild.
It's going to be wild, man. It's going to be wild. But no, I'll just kind of speak to what that kind of feels like. It was funny. I went down there with Crawley. He went down below into the tunnel with me where everybody enters from. So I was there where the umpires are entering and the hype people that are oftentimes at minor league games were down there. Our friend Chris, who has been on this show multiple times, was down there kind of getting everybody ready. He produces the show. And it was just, so you're just part of that whole rigmarole. And, for me, like Crawley was down there asking me questions. Are you nervous and stuff? And yeah, of course I'm a little bit nervous. I'm going over the lyrics, which by the way, Wayne Messmer still does. He said, he goes, I go over the lyrics one more time. They may have sang the thing 1,000 times.
But when you get up there, if you have a blank moment, it's really refreshing to have just looked at it right before, for sure, right? Because you don't want to go up there and blank out. We've seen people do it.
And you go viral.
Especially because you watching the video, it sounds like you did it a cappella.
Yeah.
So there's nothing, right? But there's nothing playing in the background where everybody else is going to kind of join in. You're just sitting there pooping your pants and not getting it in your hand because you weren't even prepared to do that.
I was not, but I did know the lyrics. I mean, there's easy ways. I mean, it's obviously been messed up a ton of times.
Why did you decide to do a cappella and not accompany yourself?
That's the way they have it. I mean, to figure out a guitar situation, you'd have to plug in. And, to be honest, like I like it a cappella. It's the national hymn and we're all supposed to sing it together. So what, like Messmer told me before, he's like, sing it in a way that people are sort of encouraged to sing along with you. So don't fuck around. Don't, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Like,
stop trying to lose the audience.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't make me out.
And don't make it about you. And half of the performances of the anthem are all about, oh, don't I sound so good? Don't you want to fluff me? Aren't I great? And for me, I went up there, and as I was
It's
preparing,
about us bombing the shit out of somebody.
exactly. It's like, actually, it's about us getting the
Being
shit
bombed
bombed out of
out.
us. Yeah.
Right.
As this guy sat on a prison ship writing a poem that they put to a drinking song. So
Yeah.
in that hodgepodgey of a way, I mean, that's the history of the song, if you don't know. I mean, but it's when I'm sitting there thinking about people drinking to this song and getting bombed the shit out, it puts you in a headspace.
Yeah.
No, it's the national hymn, and it's all supposed to be it's supposed to be something that we enjoy together. And so I did look around as I stood out there. I looked around the crowd and I saw all these different people, all ages, and well, all different kinds of American, because there are mostly American people in South Bend at this game, and just sang it for all of us and thought in terms of like, hey, let's all do this together. Like, I still believe in like the promise of America, which is like people of disparate backgrounds, creeds, faiths, colors, genders, and all coming together to make something that doesn't exist in other parts of the world where everybody's the goddamn same. And it's like, oh, I'm Swedish, I eat meatballs and build furniture all day. Oh, I'm I'm Italian, I'm just up here making pizzas.
You also eat meatballs and
exactly.
sit on furniture all day.
You sit on
Right.
furniture all day.
The most American way to put this. He's like, let me just go through all the nationalities and stereotype them as completely as possible.
They're eating every
and protesting.
Every nationality is eating meatballs or noodles. That's it. That's what they do. So it's not stereotype. It's just everyone. That's what we do.
Right.
We all have
There's
a
two
version.
types of people in this world. You're a noodle person or you're a meatball person.
Yeah.
Or sometimes together. You got spaghetti and meatballs.
Right.
Yeah. And you bring it together, that's America.
That's
so
America.
I'm up there. So I'm
Amen.
up there singing it with that thought. Like, as corny as it is, as like cynical as I am, I do try to go up there with that mindset of being very open. And to do that, I have to relax enough to poop in my own hand and throw it at people.
Right.
For a callback. But I don't do these things because I respect the flag and the people of the country. No, it's an honor. It's a definite honor. I thought I did a pretty good job.
You did. You were great. You were absolutely great, Danny. You still got it. Your voice you still sound like a songbird. I've known you for 30 years or so. So it's been, you still got it, kid. I was proud of you.
Yeah. And it sounded wonderful right there. I was there as well. Just got there. In fact, I got there right before the anthem. Just got the opportunity to sit down, and then they told me I had to stand back up, and and it was
like,
but you did a great job. It was wonderful. Like, it really
Danny. I mean,
I'll tell you one thing. It is awesome hearing your voice all big through the stadium. Like, if I'm lucky enough to have the talent and I'd worked at it, but getting as being able to sing like that, but like it's awesome. That's why it's like an honor, but it's also like really exciting. It's like, and the Rockets red. It's just like all over the place.
right. And stadiums have that kind of horrible sound, but it's a very cool sound in that way because it's echoing at you 1,000 different ways. It's like it's the craziest reverb you've ever heard in your life, basically.
It's like being a kid.
Yeah,
you go into
really
a tunnel.
Cool.
You go into a tunnel, like you go played out in the sewers
Hello,
as a kid.
hello.
Exactly.
I'm Danny. I'm Danny.
Yeah. This is awesome. But that throws people off oftentimes because you hear yourself back. Sometimes there's a terrible delay. Like, yeah.
Why so many musicians wear the plugs, the wires and stuff. You see, go to a lot of shows and they can't handle it because sometimes it's too much, especially the big stadium shows, because it comes at you seconds later. Sometimes you're like, wait a minute, am I on the wrong spot? No, you're not in the wrong spot. It's coming back at you because it was at the back of the stadium. Now it's shooting back at you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and sometimes it is a few seconds, or maybe not that long, but
right. But it feels like it.
Yeah, it feels like it. It does. Yeah. It throws you the fuck off. I tell you don't know where the drummer's beat is at that point, unless you got one of those in your ears. But anyway, the freaking South Bend Cubs lost. Who did we see? We saw Rafael Morel, and we saw a guy. Was it Preciado? Reginald
Preciado. Yeah,
Preciado. Who's still at single A, and he's a guy we got for you, Darvish.
Yeah.
So that's
to be fair, he was only 12 years old.
Yeah.
So
And but Evan Altman came. It was nice to see him. He was there with his son, and we got to see Bill Elliott. If you guys are on the Ranters Facebook page, you might see David's father, Bill, on there. He's a nice guy, and Joey was there. Wrigleyville Bum came by,
Nice.
and my wife
Yeah, it
was
was
there.
fun.
So I got a few pictures of it, though. I mean, I'll throw up a couple of these
Yeah.
shots.
So-
there's who's this? Oh, there's me and
Evan and his son.
Ryan. Yeah, his son's name is Ryan, I think, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it is.
And then there's me, you, and David Elliott, right, with the field in the back. It's a nice field. They got those apartments. I kind of want to live in one of those.
Oh man,
Yeah.
just watch
The
baseball
apartments in
every
the
day.
outfield.
Yep.
So yeah, and you can kind of see the inside of the suite here. You got some tables set up and food, and they've got Game 7 score the lineup cards. Did you see those, Michael? The Game
They had
7
lineup cards for each game.
Each game, 1 through 7, all game,
Yeah.
even the losses.
Yeah, even losses, but they weren't filled out, so you couldn't tell that they were losses unless you just know what you're looking at.
Well, and that really is the perfect segue to this weekend. We had a couple losses for the Cubs. Unless you,
Wait a
you
minute,
have more to add.
well,
about
I-
South Bend?
Oh, the only thing I had to add is after the game, you actually offered me tickets to go to the game in Chicago, and I was really like, "Oh man, if I wasn't damn near 50 years old and had a family and shit to do, that would have been the greatest. Just fuck off and go to Chicago for a night.
Were you traveling solo, Mike?
I was.
Oh, I would have said, "Fuck it all." Here I go.
Oh, I know, and I really wanted to, but it was a long drive, and I was like,
a little John Lennon lost weekend when you just disappear for 6 months.
Yeah.
And fucking drink your face off.
But
Yeah,
I decided to head home. But I was like, I realized I'm right next to Notre Dame. Never been to Notre Dame,
Yeah.
the university, and I was like, I need to run over there, and I'll put these up on the Ranters Discord. My plan was to take a picture of me and the Bleacher Bump Bible book and just leave it there, like on the steps. But there was like a shit ton of people like getting pictures and shit for graduation. And I realized like you can't just walk up and leave a package at the steps of a very famous church and not get just arrested and beat up.
Exactly.
So I was like,
Wrapped
I'm
in,
just gonna take
wrapped in
pictures.
brown paper with a big 69 on it.
Right after the Pope's dead. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just took some pictures and bailed, but the campus is pretty cool. They have a Grubhub automated fucking robot running around the campus.
Yeah, delivering food.
It's
and
this
stuff.
little like 8-wheeled thing that I'm walking and I see this thing going. And here, I think it's like,
Have you seen the Amazon ones? They have the same thing. They're New York City, LA. I think in Chicago, there's a few maybe downtown. They just drive down the streets full of packages and pull into your buildings. It's crazy.
I had never seen one of these things before. I thought it was maybe some sort of like security thing, like going around
Right.
just like filming like who's around or whatever. And then I took a picture and it stopped, like I scared it and it had to readjust and go around. And I'm like, that's a Grubhub freaking
That's-
thing. It was
That's wild. People mess with them. You know, they
you
Yeah,
can
people-
you can scare it. That's kind of cool. That got my attention. I'm like, oh, let's go
well, that's
fuck
what it
these
looked
things.
like. Like I wanted to take a picture of it and it's coming at me and it just stops. And it kind of wiggles back and forth, like trying to decide which direction it's going to go. So it looks like it's
Yeah.
like scared, and then it goes
gives
around me.
it gives you the old Walter Payton. It's just like the triple shoot.
Yo, 1-2.
It was fucked up. Broke my ankles. I was
Yeah.
down for the count.
Well, Michael, you should, when you get an opportunity, go see a football game at Notre Dame. It's worth the price of admission. It's a really cool experience. It's fun. I did back-to-back years. I did Michigan at Notre Dame, and then I went to the Big House and saw Notre Dame at Michigan. And then I was at the Bush Push game at Notre Dame for USC because my father-in-law was a diehard USC fan, and I flew him out. And I was like, I got a surprise for you. And him and his best friend and my brother-in-law, I took them to go see the Bush Push game, and it was pretty amazing.
That's awesome.
It was
Yeah.
cool. It was cool. And I don't give a shit about college football. And I was like emotional while I was there all day. I was like, I grew up in New England. We don't do college football. We had Doug Flutie, and we now maybe care about UConn basketball. We used to love Big Ten basketball, but it's gone. It's just not the same. So there's no college sports on the Northeast. They don't do it. It's not a thing. It's very rare. People here have teams that they follow. There's more Notre Dame fans in Boston than probably any other school.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
because of the Irish.
Yeah, because
and now you got Rutgers and Maryland are in the same conference as USC and UCLA. It's ridiculous.
It's so weird. There's so many Big Ten fans in New England too. You're like, what? But I think it's a lot of college kids that came to New England. They're like, oh, I don't really have to root for my teams. I can still be a fan of Iowa because I grew up out there and I go to BC. So there's like a lot of Iowa bars and there's Ohio State bars and all that shit during college season. So anyway,
well,
moving on.
I mean, fan bases travel really well. In fact, a bunch of really lovely Philadelphia Phillies fans came to the Wrigley Field, the friendly confines, which weren't quite as friendly as usual by Sunday anyway.
Chicago, Philly, that's a good one. Boston, Philly, we see it a lot when they come to town. By the way, it happens in Fenway, and anytime there's any Philly team, there's fights everywhere, and everybody's like, oh, those Boston fans. I'm like, I don't know. It seems like anytime Philly travels, people are getting punched in the face.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen Boston Cubs. I mean, there's no rivalry there. There's no rivalry between the Cubs and the Phillies either. It's the kind of person you are. And I mean, I think Philly fans, they are pretty much known as the worst and most violent, even to their own team. And even Bleacher Jeff was telling me, he goes, these guys are great. They make fun of their own players more than we do out here. And like they were booing their own guy. They were booing. Jeff told me, he's like, some dude was losing his mind over Trey Turner and how he sucks. And he's like, where are the Phillies? Oh, Phillies gear. He's like, fuck Trey Turner. Guy's fucking bum. He's like screaming, Jeff's like, yeah, we'll just take a weekend off then.
He's like, I can't believe this fucking guy is following me all over the country. I thought when we got on a road trip, he'd finally stop, and now here he is in Chicago.
Exactly. So it's and there were really bad fights that took place. I mean, I downloaded a few that I saw on TikTok. So let me play some of these, and I think this is the best one. All right, so they're kind of tussling here. They're like they almost look like a rugby scrum.
Yeah, and it looks like they're trying to do the hockey thing where you pull the shirt over the head.
Yeah. Now here they go. They're pulling on them. You got the securities in there, the red shirt in there. Here they go. They go tumbling down like good 3, 4, 5 rows. And that's the part I wanted you to see.
And that was like 6 to 8 people all falling down. It's not like one person fell down the rows.
No, it was
Lyle, you're muted.
You're muted.
I like the guy that ran from below and tried to jump on the pile. You're like, what are you doing, dude? And as we all know, the person who wins the fight in those situations is the guy on the higher steps. So you got to walk around it and get up top, and then you get your leverage. Nobody wins from the bottom.
Oh, well, and especially the people that weren't involved in the goddamn fight.
I know. That was a good fall. How black and blue do you think that dude on the bottom of that pile was? He probably hit his spine on a stair, hit the back of his head on a stair. That's how people get really hurt. It's stupid shit like that. It's like, oh, I slipped and fell while I was in a fight and I hit my skull on the curb and now I wheelchair for the rest of my life.
No, you could.
As a guy who was a fucking fool when he was younger and would fight anybody who looked at him funny.
Oh yeah, all the dumb shit we did when we were like, God, we're lucky. I always think of the dude from Christmas Vacation. He's like, yeah, every time somebody turns on the microwave, I piss my pants and forget my name for 3 days.
Yeah.
But Sunday night baseball, they got all day to drink. Is today a holiday of some kind?
No.
Last Monday was.
Yeah, for like Easter. But so why are all these Philly fans in town on a Sunday night? Like, anyway, usually Sunday night baseball tends to be like the big day is Saturday for all this stuff to go on. And that was also a national game. Cubs got their asses whooped. It was a long game. What was the final? 10-2, something
10-4.
10-4.
But the last 2 runs were like just joke runs.
Garbage times, yeah.
Doesn't even count as a fake rally.
It's over, guys. It's over. It was a great April, and now here it goes, Michael, right? They're going to start just going down the toilet, just like last year. Got you all excited. I'm kidding.
We're just going to keep running Justin Turner out there in the 4-hole because he's batting 160, and we're going to back him up with Dansby Swanson batting 180, and then John Birdie, who's the highest batting average on the team. We're going to sit him for Vidal Brujan for reasons.
Who's going to play questionable defense.
But Michael, those guys have been in the league for a while. They were good at one point, and they need to be in those spots out of respect because that's what matters.
Yeah, that's what matters.
Well, I saw this. I mean, I don't think this guy knows how any of this works because he's just like, I think they should send Dansby Swanson down to AAA and get a couple of reps down there. I'm like, that's not happening. But
that's never happening.
Yeah, but he never likes to take a day off. He's scuffling.
Problem with him.
He came out swinging it. If you remember, like his first week, everybody's like, "Oh, look at Dansby's got his stroke back," and then
he was fucking rested. That's who this guy is when he's rested.
It was 4 games. He was good for 4 games, and then he fell off a cliff. Like it wasn't like that long that he was good. So it's like
maybe he needed a break. Like 4 games, beginning of the season. He went out there, he did all his stuff, he got hyped, he did everything, and then it's like take a little break, recharge, Dansby. You're not 13 years old on your little league team anymore. Like it takes a little bit. Just recharge and then play.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to give it. I mean, they've had a lot of off days as well. So it's not like he has.
Today's an off day. There was just
we just had 2 off days last week, and now we got another off day.
But after all the rain delays and everything else that's going to happen, and all the games they're going to miss in May, like you said, Danny, there's going to be 47 games in August.
Yeah, straight. Yeah, there'll be double headers every day. It's going to be incredible. Like we'll have no pitching left. It'll just be like, Tommy Hotovy's going to get signed to a contract and come out and pitch a couple innings. It's going to be just wild, man.
Yeah. And since we're talking about Dansby now, I figure I'll drop my TFC right now instead of later. This is the Forrest Gump talking to Lieutenant Dan meme. And Lieutenant Dan says, well, I thought I'd try out batting. And then it shows Forrest and he's got the Cubs logo in front of his face. And Forrest says, but you ain't got no batting, Lieutenant Dan. and he says, yes, I know that. And then the first comment, and this is all about Dansby Swanson sucking. And the first comment says, he needs to move down in the batting order. And comment 2, yeah, why isn't he batting 10th?
He really should be. He should be batting 10th. And just, I know we're going to move on from this series and whatnot. I do want to say, though, Danny, I mean, it's not all doom and gloom. That kicking the shit out of LA again.
Yeah.
Was pretty great.
Season series.
And in tight games, you know what I mean? So that's a really good team. And to be able to hang with those guys and win tight games and take them in the season series and fuck them. Like I'm still pissed about those 2 games and whenever the fuck that was.
I mean, I'm pissed because the
January.
Phillies, yeah, exactly. Sometime around Christmas.
Yeah.
But I'm still pissed that the Phillies are the bizarro Cubs. Like they've got all the players that we ever wanted. Like Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber, we let go for nothing. And Nick Castellanos should have stayed. And Johnny really wanted the Cubs to sign Trey Turner because he was his favorite player on the Nationals when they won it. And there was all sorts of, they've got all the guys that we should have. Instead, we went this other direction and it's fine. But the Phillies have been there and we haven't been. The Phillies have had a relevant team all this time, and we have not. And
they get a taste every year. They're in contention. They have a chance.
Yeah, and we just haven't been. So,
and they're spending a lot of money, but nobody ever talks about Philly as being one of these like big money teams. You know what I mean? Because they've done it sort of slowly. They didn't just add $500 million on one off season. They've done it slowly, but that's the thing. It's like they're willing to go that distance to get a Trey Turner, to get a Bryce Harper, and they're being smart about it. And because of that, they're always in the mix.
Yeah. And Aaron Nola, of course, takes this opportunity to take his like 6 point whatever ERA up to near 7 down to like 5 something against the Cubs. So just, you could say this. Tyone pitched great in yesterday's game, 7 innings. It was a wasted start. I kind of blame. I mean, Merriweather, he's been a freaking horse. Of course, last night his picks tonight did not have it, but the Cubs scored 1 run. What do you want him to do?
Did I hear you say, Danny, that the wind had been blowing in? I was listening on the radio and I missed it. So I didn't know, because once in a while they'll bring it up and they'll say, oh, wind's blowing in today. And I didn't know, but I thought chilly. I saw you post something about that. So
it was a little chilly. It's warmer today. It probably would have been a nicer day to play today, but yeah, it was chilly yesterday, a little bit blowing in. I believe Friday it was really chilly, and that was a rain delayed game. And the wind was blowing in, and the
wind was blowing in really hard.
Really hard. Yeah. It was like hitting us in the back of the neck. We were freezing our ass off. We kept moving around. Oh, we ended up moving down so that the wind wasn't blowing right at the back of our necks. So, and that was what it was in. So anyway, at least the Cubs got one. We didn't get our asses swept. They got their asses kicked though on Saturday night. And it's a shame that once again, we don't win on a Sunday, and we don't win, which is a thing now. And we don't win on national television in front of everybody. And so it's embarrassing as a Cubs fan to look like. I
mean, is it embarrassing? This is what it is to be a Cubs fan, except for one particular season. But outside of that, that's, been kind of the MO a little bit.
True.
Well, on to another Pennsylvania team.
Yeah, well, we will. We're going to talk to Brian Ziegler, our Pirates fan friend, great musician, a great friend of mine. We've known each other for years and years and years. He is, unfortunately for him, a fan of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Poor guy.
Right.
And but we're going to play a quick Patreon and in the clutch commercial. Hopefully you enjoy it, and hopefully it doesn't skip. I played it on the Bleacher Bunch the other day. It was skipping all over the place. I don't know what happened there.
Are we going to do a who is it?
Yeah, we're going to do Who's That Cubby first, and then we're going to play a commercial. So, Who's That Cubby?
It's Mark Grace. No, it's not.
Oh, it is not Mark Grace. This is not a baseball card, unfortunately. I couldn't find a good one for this player. But this is another in my listing of, this is a funny picture when we get a chance to see it. But yeah, put your comments. There's like 4 people who can even do this right now. And if you think you know who it is, throw it in there, but we will reveal it after the break.
We shall be right back.
The Bleacher Bunch brings you great shows like Son Ranto, Cubs PS Plus, Bricks Behind the Ivy, Cup of Cubby Blue, and Baseball Rabbit Hole. But you could be getting so much more when you subscribe to our Patreon page for as little as $1 a month at patreon.com/bleacherbunch. Get access to our exclusive daily show Cubs Pod, where we recap every single game. Plus, be the first to hear Cubs music, get early access to events, and receive an invitation to join our Discord Cubs community, where fans just like you show up every day to rant and rave about our beloved boys in blue. Most importantly, 10% of your Patreon pledge will go directly to help the Lost Boys Youth Baseball program. So join us. There are perks at every level, like the Renter Calendar, absolutely free, and name recognition for you or your business. We are independent Cubs podcasters, and we need your support. Otherwise, we'll quit. Seriously, we'll all quit. Some of us might even die from your lack of support. In fact, the cutest little puppy you've ever seen will die if you don't support the Bleacher Bunch at patreon.com/bleacherbunch. We promise to spend all the Patreon money on tickets and beer and all the dog crap we have to buy just to keep our podcast rolling. So give us your money, and we'll waste it far better than you will. Patreon.com/BleacherBunch. Free trials are available, but don't do a free trial. Just join, okay? Okay. Patreon.com/BleacherBunch.
In the clutch, in the clutch. Buy t-shirts from In the Clutch. Take it from the Bleacher Bunch. You'll love the shirts from In the Clutch.
In the Clutch shirts are comfortable, stylish, and guaranteed to get you laid. Plus, they're proud sponsors of the Bleacher Bunch. Use promo code Bleacher Bunch for 10% off your purchase.
Nice to feel and soft to touch. That's why you will get laid so much. Wearing a shirt from In the Clutch. And you can thank the Bleacher Bunch.
In the Clutch, in the Clutch. Buy t-shirts from In the Clutch. Remember the code Bleacher Bunch. Save 10% at In the Clutch. In the Clutch, in the Clutch.
In the Clutch shirts actually not really guaranteed to get you laid.
Who's that cubby?
All right. Well, we have a few guesses here. Tom Cooper says Chris Coughlin. Yumper had 2 guesses, Zobrist and Kendall. Artie says Son Ranto, and it is Rando. And it looks like Lyle says Aramis Ramirez. Kevin Davis went with Baez, but you are all wrong. It's Reed Johnson getting hit in the nuts with a pitch.
Wow. Yeah, right in the dong.
Yeah, that ball right now, like, so for those of you who are just listening, this is a picture of Reed Johnson, and I was looking at it at first, and I didn't see the ball, and I'm like, why is he
standing like
weird
that?
Stance? Yeah. And then when you look down, you could see the ball is like digging into his back thigh, but the way that
The cup has been moved.
yeah, you see the pants and the dent in the pants and stuff, and you know he has just been hitting in the nuts, and it's now to the thigh. And my goodness, that had to have been the worst.
The good news is he did get the job as the soprano in the opera at the Lyric. So he did.
Yeah. But Reed Johnson played for the Cubs, I think, like 3 seasons. The biggest thing I remember about him is that goatee. And I swear to God, in one game, he came out without a goatee. And by the 9th inning, he had a goatee. That's the one thing I remember about him.
Well, let's bring him on. He's our friend. He's a Pirates fan for some reason. We'll have to find out why. But Brian Ziegler to the stage and tell us all about.
Yeah.
He's wearing a Boston Red Sox hat, so that's,
I love that hat. That is a great hat. Thanks. I appreciate that. You made my day.
Well,
sorry about
Brian.
that. I just every once in a while I like to watch a team with a bona fide major league lineup. I won't let it happen again.
Crazy. Why would you want to do something like that? What are you, a baseball fan of some kind?
It's weird that your team sucks, though, considering you might have the best ownership in all of sports.
Well, that's true. That's true, and that's why I don't understand why everyone in the stadium is wearing "Sell the Team" T-shirts. It's just we have the best front office in the league. You know, they are actually confiscating paper bags. No kidding. It's bad.
That sucks. That does just suck because it's a good organization with a good fan base in a great city, and baseball's better when Pittsburgh has a good team. And it's a super bummer that this is what they allow to happen, and that MLB seems okay with it. The rest of ownership seems okay with it. You know, the other owners in the league, like at some point you got to be like, make this guy sell the team. This is stupid.
Well, and they have such a wonderful ballpark in such a nice spot. Like, we all know Wrigley Field and Fenway Park. They will draw fans regardless of the teams. And they did it for many years. Right. They could do the same thing with, is it still called PNC? I don't know what the name is all the time.
Ballpark downtown, and
that's what they're hoping, I think, and I think that's what they're banking on, Michael. It just like it did. They don't seem to care about the baseball product.
But they don't even seem to try to promote the stadium or anything. Like they don't seem to promote any part of that team.
Well, that would cost money.
Right. I think you could get more of that if there was any sense that they were even trying to put a decent team on the field. They stumbled into what could be a really hot rotation and can't even be bothered to put anyone who can hit the ball on the field. It really is embarrassing.
Players. O'Neal Cruz.
Yeah, what happened to those guys? Like O'Neal Cruz, there was like some catcher, Henry Davis, that looked like he was going to be something, and
Brian Hayes,
Hayes. Well, we can do them one by one. Cruz, they actually shifted out to center field, and he's been hot this year. He's got eight home runs, 12 stolen bases. I mean, he's having a decent season.
He's tied.
Hayes looks like he's just going to be Yep. Hayes just looks like his bat. I hate to completely throw him under the bus, but it looks like his bat just isn't going to play. He's going to be a defense-only guy for as long as he sticks around. Looks like, because after 2 years,
you got Alexander Canario. Did he stick with the team, or you get rid of him yet?
He's still around. He's like 0 for, I don't know, 120. He had a cold start.
He's batting 77. He's batting 77. That is like with a 0 in front of it. .077.
Well, but he's a good example of part of the problem. I mean, he's had 26 at bats and he has a halfway decent pedigree. He's not Tommy Pham. And for me, that's good enough to put him in left field once in a while.
Well, and Tommy Pham's off to a slow start, except for that he's still making national baseball news because he's getting touched by fans in the outfield, in which case he won't let it go. And that should never happen. Like the fans shouldn't be reaching over and touching the players. But also Tommy Pham, being the hothead he is, going around slapping Jock Peterson, doing shit like that.
Right.
He sat in the outfield and wanked off like he mind masturbating to the guy who touched him. You're like, hey, fuck you, guy, and just and he got.
I did enjoy that.
Would say you were asking for it.
Yeah. I mean, and I tell you, I didn't like the signing. Do it in his 20s. If the guy's still a hothead at 37. And can't make any contact.
I mean, every team's got a couple.
Carl Everett, guy like that.
Mm-hmm.
Everett? Yeah. Do you remember that? Yeah. See, Danny's never watched any American League baseball in his entire life.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
DH is an abomination.
Do you guys what about maybe some of the veterans on the team? Do they get mad about this even with another veteran? Like does Willie Stargell and Honus Wagner get upset with these guys?
I don't think
Honus Wagner. Yeah. Filling old forms. What happened to the ballpark?
I don't think any of them want anything to do with this bunch.
I was wondering if I was wondering, the Cubs have done a really nice job with some of the older veterans, bringing them around. I was wondering if there is that culture in Pittsburgh. They just don't want anything to do with the team. There's no
Haley. That's about it.
Yeah.
Haley Kolar's bringing up the fact that Tommy Pham and Bleacher Jeff have an ongoing feud. So when the Pirates come to town, when is that? We're going there tomorrow, but I don't know when the Pirates are coming. Let me see. I'll take a look at it, but so look for that. Oh, not till June. So we got Jeff's got time to warm up his heckling voice.
Just another guy that doesn't like Bleacher Jeff. Poor Bleacher Jeff.
Hopefully we can DFA him before the opportunity comes up. But
but you got Paul Skeens. I don't know that we're gonna face him. Are we slated to face him? I didn't even.
They haven't announced pitchers. Yeah. But if things fall normally, he should be up against you guys Thursday
on the getaway day. So that's your number. So we're facing the back end of your rotation, whatever that means. Guys that probably should be in the bullpen on another, like maybe the Angels.
Well, you're probably facing Heaney, and he's not bad. Majinski, no. He should be in the bullpen. Majinski's one of those guys who first time through, he looks pretty good. And then second time through, everyone squares him up.
He's
So
the
he'll-
great Majinski. Isn't that a
Yeah.
great Magic guy's name? I am the great Majinski. Watch me pull the bullpen out of a hat. Here they come.
Yep, makes the winds disappear. He's good.
What?
But yeah, we got one of those two is pitching, as least as far as would come around, and then we face the front of the
But
your rotation.
as of right now, it looks like that's the 1-2. I just looked it up, and it looks like it's going to be Medinsky in the second game.
All right. So did they announce some stuff now? All right. Well,
And he the first.
Either way, you're not off to a great start. You have basically the opposite record of the Cubs. You know, where we're 17 and 12.
Yep.
Is that
They're
where we
11
are
and
right
8,
now?
yep, and 11 and 18 for the Pirates.
And I think something that doesn't get as much run as it should is the Pirates are pretty much as bad as they've been the last couple of years, only with Skeens. So they're actually worse because once every 5 days you got someone starting who can carry the entire team.
Well, Mitch Keller too he kind of carved us up last year, and somebody pointed out in the chat earlier that it's when the Cubs had a great April last year, and then they ran into the Pirates, who brought everything kind of to a screeching halt because we're starting to face the division now. Have you guys faced the division yet? We haven't faced anybody. You're the first. This is the first interdivisional game we're playing.
Is it the first?
Yeah.
I think
We've been playing the West this whole time. The AL, it's
okay.
freaking bonkers.
Yeah, we just finished with the Angels and Dodgers too. Angels went all right. Dodgers went as you'd expect.
We beat them, but we're the Cubs. We're supposed to try to. We're supposed to try to at least.
That doesn't mean what you think it means, Danny.
Yeah, I know. But they're the Pirates. I mean, relatively, we're the Cubs.
Right.
We have a fighting chance. Pirates, I don't think you have a chance.
No. And I think that's the crazy thing is in year 6 of a rebuild, they're running guys out there. The best, other than Cruz is kind of a special case, but the best guys on the team, you look at them and go, yeah, they'd be a good role player on a good team.
Hold on, Brian. What is this rebuild you're talking about? You said 6 years, and I'm trying to think in my head, what the hell happened 6 years ago that they could possibly be rebuilding from?
Well, it was that when McCutcheon left. That's pretty much the end of it, right?
Yeah, there was a 1 year in the late teens where they had a winning record. It was like an 84 and 78 year or something like that. But blew it all up, brought in new, basically an entirely new front office, brought in Shelton to manage and Charrington.
I thought that happened after the Cubs won 16. The wild card game in 15. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they lumbered along. Yeah, they've really been two. Oh God, this is embarrassing. There've really been 2 rebuilds since then. The first one went up through, I forget if it was the 18 or 19 season, where they were above 500 again. Then they blew it up again, and since then, there's been nothing. And this is an embarrassing place to be because at least for the past few years, they've been able to point to some prospects and go, okay, yeah, but Hank Davis is coming, and none of these guys have worked out.
Yeah, and but you managed to beat us, which is kind of frightens me a little bit. Yeah, the Reds beat us even more last year, and it's just frustrating. And I'm a little nervous that we're going to hit this divisional kind of stretch, and not that you can make it mean more, but it does mean more when you play within your division because you're especially in the Central, because it's unlikely that the wild card's going to come out of the Central, even though there's 7 wild card spots or something now.
That's great now. There's the play-in. I don't know how this all works.
But interdivisionally, teams play each other to even oftentimes, unless there's some aberration, because you're kind of built to beat those teams because the games mean more. I often wondered, why did the Cubs load up on lefty starters? And then I'm like, well, there must be just a bunch of tough lefties that we're trying to neutralize within that you're going to play most of your games against. That's why you would do something like that in theory.
You're thinking that Jed's actually thinking about these things.
Yeah, no, I think he just was like, isn't it cool that they throw with their left hand? That's awesome. We get to shop at the leftorium.
Oh, I can guarantee you that if there's something to do with which hand these guys hold their bat with or a ball
Jed's
with,
all over it.
Jed's all over it. That's
Yeah,
the
that's
one.
fair. You're right.
That's
You're
the
right.
one thing that he thinks he knows about baseball, and he's wrong.
Right.
Yeah. So it doesn't sound like you have much of a shot this year.
Well,
which is
Tom
is
Cooper
close.
made a good point, Danny, in the chat. He was saying, what scares him is last year, it was at the beginning of May, like Michael was talking about, the Pirates beat up on the Cubs, and that was the beginning of the end for Cubs baseball.
Yeah,
we're
and
As it
it's
were.
late April, and the best we can hope for is to play spoiler. I think
Fair.
this is one of those rosters where if literally everything goes right, they could have won 84, eked into the last wild card. I honestly think it's already too late for that, and I'm wondering if this is the year you see them blow up the front office, because I mean, it's not that they're losing; it's that there doesn't seem to be a plan.
well, this was supposed to be where they got
Yeah.
some of these players that
Yep.
started to perform at the major league level,
Yep.
and that you add Skeens to it. Now got yourself pitching, hitting. You're firing on more cylinders, and it doesn't seem to be happening. And so if the guys they drafted aren't coming around, that's the only thing they're paid to do well, and they didn't do it well. So you might want to just sell it off for parts and start again with I don't know. How about you take Jed Hoyer? We'd love to get rid of him.
Okay, tell you what, throw in Tucker, you got yourself a deal.
Well, sure, no problem. You can have Tucker. We got him signed for a long time. You'll love him. Don't bother to look at the contract. Just trust me on it. You got to have him for 10 years, easy.
Anything to move a couple of bobbleheads on fireworks night. That's all the Bucks are really concerned about anyway.
Yeah, I didn't look up if there's any giveaways. I'll look that up right away. Well, is there anything that you've been kind of looking at with this team and you're like, oh, I like this guy and I've never heard of him or whatever, but but you think he looks like interesting and we've never heard of him?
I don't know if a guy who had a bad reputation for a while was Joey Bart. He just couldn't pull it off with the Giants. And it's funny, for all the catching depth the Bucks were supposed to have, none of them were really working out. They picked up Joey Bart on a flyer, and he's found his power. He's found his average. I mean, he's not. What's he hitting right now? Hey, he's at 271. OPS 742. I mean, for a Pirates catcher, that's crazy. So Bart's been doing well. Kutch has been. It's early, and he's 38, but Kutch has been having a great season so far too.
Is this his last year or like?
He hasn't announced, but people are kind of treating it like it is.
And like getting the suite on the road kind of thing, and going out to steak dinners and getting the key to the city and stuff like that.
And
it's going to be like when we said goodbye to Wilson Contreras and Ian Happ 7 times that one season.
He keeps coming back.
Yeah.
Well, I have a theory.
I just want to something from this year.
Well, it would be great for him. I'm sure he wants to go out on a high note, and they rarely do. They always play one season too long, bat 95 and get unceremoniously released in the middle of the season. But I have a theory about what they let some of these old guys do. Like when I saw that Pujols World Tour where he all of a sudden was a world beater again in the final year after suck with the Angels, goes back to the Cardinals and starts freaking. That's what happened, right? He went back on the Cardinals, right?
Yeah.
And they just inject him with all the drugs, and they're like, all right, give it to us.
They let him do steroids the last year. Like, hey, don't worry about the testing. Just do your thing. Take all the supplements you want. No biggie. That's what's happening with Kutch. That's why he's off to a good start.
I'll tell you something that would be fun that's been just kind of rumored on the message boards and things like that. He's talked about maybe wanting to get into coaching or managing later on. It's not beyond the realm of possibility we could have a player coach.
That would be amazing. That would be
really cool. Yeah,
it would be very cool, and it's probably the right organization to do it at this point.
Oh, sure.
Otherwise, what are you gonna do? Trade that guy to a playoff team, which you kind of want to do, but it's just sad. He came back, he wanted to be there.
Yeah,
and there's not really another seems a way around it. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys should be able to pick up all those kind of veterans who are coming off of injuries or have had a bad rep. Be like, hey, come to Pittsburgh. Nobody cares anyway. So you can come and just like work your shit out. It's like better than being in the minors. You still get treated like a major league player, but you can kind of hide in the shadows and come back and reestablish yourself.
Look what happened with Quintana. He went over to the Pirates, and he's been great for everybody he's played for except for the Cubs.
Yeah.
And he is tearing it up with Milwaukee right now. He's
Really?
like one of their best. Yeah, he's I listened to the recap the other day, and Cap was saying that he's like, 4-0, who cares? Pitcher wins, but he's just been like holding it down.
Yeah, well, we might see him this weekend because that's who's next. Not to steal Cupstradamus's thunder. He's going to stop by in a little bit and let us know what's happening next. But, I think it's so cool that all the Pittsburgh teams are black and yellow. I always think that to have a pirate as your mascot is fun. Like, you could dress up as a pirate as a fan. Like, what could Cub fans do? Nobody's dressing as a baby bear. People dress as other kind of bears, but then it's just like, why?
Well,
dress as
but they
bears?
do in
That's a whole different thing.
But they do in the neighborhood, Danny.
Yeah, they do in the neighborhood. Yeah, exactly. You got
There are lots of baby bears.
Yeah, there's kind of entire bars dedicated to it, right? Just east of the ballpark.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just fun. Like, I love PNC. We got to catch it. We got to catch a game out there sometime again. It's been a hot minute. Are you coming to Chicago at any time? Are we going to see you here?
Nothing planned, but yeah, I still have family out there. So
your sister, right? Sister lived here. Yeah.
I haven't been to Wrigley though. I don't think since her wedding, which was like 20 some years ago. It's been a while.
Yeah, we got to get you out here.
We always end up going to plays or some nonsense.
Exactly. Yeah. What a bunch of bullshit theater. What has that ever done for anybody? So
at least you're not going to lose.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that.
I've seen some bad productions.
Yeah, you could lose, trust me. But anyway, you got some predictions for this kind of weekday series going in Tuesday, Wednesday, and a getaway day Thursday. I guess what are we throwing at it? We're throwing Boyd. It was all TBD when I looked this morning, so I was like, "Well, that's not helpful."
Danny, I think you just assume it's always going to be Boyd and Ray. And then they're going to throw
Imanaga somewhere.
And then so it's probably going to be Boyd,
Imanaga tomorrow, and then
Imanaga's tomorrow.
ESPN has it listed.
Oh,
yeah, with the day off. He pitched last. Yeah, he did not pitch against the Phillies, and he got a day off tomorrow. So,
and then Boyd after that on Wednesday.
At least I don't think he pitched against the Phillies.
Who's going up against Skeens? Would that be Tyone again then? No, because Tyone pitched last night. Probably Colin Ray. Because Colin Ray and we got this guy Colin Ray who's taking over for Steele, who's out for the whole season.
Oh, is he? I hadn't heard. What happened?
Yeah, they have Ray listed on Thursday.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good luck with that. Ray versus Skeens.
Yeah.
But
Brian Steele blew out his elbow. He's having I still don't even understand what, like, it used to just be they'd be like Tommy John and they didn't tell you everything about it, but now it's like it's Tommy John, but it's also all these other things that we're going to do. We don't need to know that much about the freaking medical history. I'm sorry.
It's Tommy John with a little bit of goose gossage, just a little. Yeah, that'll take care of it.
It's Tommy John with a big mustache on your elbow.
Yeah. So, any predictions for this series? What do you think?
You guys take 2 out of 3. I'm really grumpy this year. Yeah, we'll Skeens will win Thursday. That's it.
Yeah, so and we're good at losing. Like, we're good at winning the first 2 games and losing that third one. That's kind of our thing too.
Oh yeah, I predict we got Justin Turner in the DH at the 3-hole on Thursday against Skeens.
Yeah, just strike it out 4 times.
I predict the Pirates sweep and put the fear of God into Michael, and the rest of Cubs Nation are like, "Oh no, here we go again." It's one of those things, and I think the Cubs then go on a run afterwards. But Pittsburgh has our number sometimes. It's just the way it is. It's just it's one of those division games, and it's always the lesser team seems to own all the series in this division for some reason.
Well, it's because of
then we're going to sweep. It's
because of the Cubs front office and their management. I think the Cubs actually have a great team this year. Like they could really do some very good things, but they have to play against their own management all the time, and that is frustrating. So
and we're still lacking kind of a bullpen and stuff, and we're lacking some key positions like third base and
that's front office stuff. We spent 2 years without a first baseman at all, and we've spent, I think, 3 years without a third baseman, and it's just ongoing because those positions, I guess, don't even count anymore. You only have to play second and short.
If you got 8 out of 9 covered, Michael, you're doing pretty good. I mean, you're batting 9-8 something,
2 years.
Well, I got some news here that I'm putting 2 and 2 together here because I'm looking at some of the promotions that the Pirates are throwing to get people into the ballpark on this disappointing year. And tomorrow is dog night. So you can bring dogs to the ballpark tomorrow, but it's also supposed to rain. So there's thunderstorms and rain. So it's technically wet dog night. So get ready.
Wet dog night. And then dogs love thunder. Dogs. There won't be any dogs freaking out or biting people or running away. It's going to be an absolute disaster in Pittsburgh tomorrow. Everybody go, but wear your chainmail suits just in case someone really freaks out.
This is going to be like the 2000s disco destruction night. It's just going to be dogs.
Dogs running everywhere in torn up thunder shirts. Yeah, it's going to be wild. And then speaking of dogs, the next night, it's the night after that. It's Sugar Day dollar dog game. So you get hot dogs. So you're going from wet dogs to hot dogs.
Well, because they know the Thunder, the dogs are going to get lost. They're going to catch them in the stadium. They're going to turn them into hot dogs.
Right.
Save a little money. And then that's what you're going to do for $1.
Has anybody been to a dog game anywhere for any reason? Like,
I was
minor leagues, anything.
I was at a White Sox game. I was at a White Sox game once, and I didn't know it. And I just thought there was like a service dog next to me. And I started looking around the stadium, and I might have been a little intoxicated or something. I was like, man, there's a lot of dogs here. And I was like, oh, it's dog night. I get it. But yeah, so I did once. It was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. I don't really know how that works because dogs don't care where they're at when they decide to poop or pee.
Right.
And I just don't quite get it. And when they see other dogs, they like to bark. And I'm just like, I've never been to one of these things. It just kind of boggles in my mind.
They don't like to sit still in the stands too. You got to walk them around. They want to chase this and that. And there's a ball rolling around on the field. Like you'd think they'd want to run out after that,
Michael, quick story. One of my restaurants in Chicago, we had a big patio outside, and these people came in. They wanted to bring the dog in, and we didn't let the dogs on the patio on Friday and Saturday. It was too busy. And my partner standing, he's like, the dogs sometimes they go to the bathroom, they make a mess. He's like, people trying to eat dinner and have a good time. People are like, all right, fine, whatever. So they tie their dog up and they sit down. They're sitting next to a family, and I kid you not, their 5-year-old son pulls his pants down and takes a dump right next to those people's table and just starts pissing on the ground next to them. And they look at me, they're like, you think my dog's gross? I was like, I don't fucking know, man. I was like, this is crazy. My mind was blown. My mind was blown.
Oh my God.
It was
that
insane.
is great.
That child was feral.
And then you let the dog in off leash and you tied the kid up right outside of the gate.
I would have. My mind was blown. Those people were like, yeah, see, my dog's bad. I was like, oh, yeah.
That is great.
I'll never forget it as long as I live.
Oh, my God. Dude, I've never heard of something like that happening.
No,
I mean, where were the parents?
They just sat there, kept eating their food. I think they had 3 kids. They didn't care about anything. They were done.
They were done.
They're
like, if we're lucky,
I get that.
the family planning people, like whatever that government, they'll see this and just show up and take some of them away.
Yeah, I believe there was a 2-year-old and an infant also at the table, so they were like, that kid's on his own now.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, Brian, we'll let you go. Thank you for being here today and talking all about the Pirates. What are you plugging right now? You got a band right now? What's going on?
I think the important thing to mention is if they've actually relocated the Pirates front office to the neighborhood of Make Believe.
Oh, nice.
So I think that's important. I forgot I was wearing that. I gotta do my one-liner. My wife and I have put together a new band called Rooster Sauce. Been talking about it for a little while. Mostly covers, but we're starting to write some original stuff. Rooster Sauce Music on your .com or your Facebook. And that's about it for the moment. It's cool though to be writing some new stuff again. Finally, it's been a long time.
Oh, that's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
cool. Brian's an awesome guitar. Oh, I'm seeing the picture of you guys, dude. You look like a rock star. You got like a rooster shirt on.
Yep.
Are you a big fan of Sriracha? Is that?
Oh,
is that
that's where it came from. Yeah.
So Rooster Sauce Music, playing with your wife Liz. So,
nice.
All right, cool. Everybody check that out. Listen to Brian's music. He's an awesome guitar player.
Cool. Thanks
for being here, and we'll talk to you again. I don't know, maybe next week we'll recap these games if you're available. So,
good luck after Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. Go Red Sox.
All right. Later. All right.
I like having Brian on. He's great.
Oh yeah, no, I've known Brian. I went to the Baseball Hall of Fame with him. I met him on the 6 train in Manhattan because he was reading a Frank Zappa book, and I was like, "Hey, brother, you like Frank Zappa?" And then we started talking.
And there it is. 20 years
when
later,
you were young, and that's all it took to make friends.
Yeah. You into Zappa? Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Hey man,
so
you like beer and drugs?
Yeah,
me too.
Want to hang out and do beer and drink beer and do some drugs?
No, I like to do beer and drink drugs. So, hey, I thought I just smelled something, but actually, is that Bill? Bill?
No, it's him. It's him.
Hey, Cubs fans, you better start walking, 'cause after the Pirates marauding, the Cubs need your cheering and boozing and beering to keep winning up in Milwaukee. That's just north of us.
North of us?
Yeah, north of us. So he's somewhere near us right now, which is probably why we can smell him. But also,
I just smell burnt toast.
Did he just give up on the Limerick style?
Yeah, what happened there?
Yeah, I was trying to follow that. Usually a limerick, and then I'm like, that might be AB, but then there was a Z in there, I think.
Well, the problem that he did was he rhymed walking with walkie of Milwaukee, which doesn't rhyme.
There was a marauding in there as well.
Yeah, he rhymed walking with marauding as well. Yeah, exactly. He was. He's running out of ideas. He's been doing this job for like 10 years, trying not to repeat himself, I think.
By the way, any of you guys going on the road with the Cubs right now? Pittsburgh to Milwaukee, two of the great small towns two great small cities in America. Like really, truly, like both great drinking towns, great places to go hang out. Both have a little bit of culture and a whole lot of fun. So cool spots to go check out.
Yeah, I'll be in. Actually, I got to go to San Diego, so I'm going to go see my niece in a show. So I will be nowhere near Milwaukee. But I was like, oh, damn it! I didn't even think I clocked that they were playing up in Milwaukee. I'm like, it's too bad. Weekend series Milwaukee early in the season would have been fun to go up there. I know a lot of Cub fans probably are.
I would recommend going to Milwaukee when the Cubs aren't in town, because if the Cubs are in town, you'll feel like you should go to the game. And I've been to one game there. I'm good. Don't need to go back to Miller Park. It's not a great park in my opinion. It just wasn't.
It's not, and they keep trying to kill people.
I don't mind the park, but I love the town. But you're right, Michael. When the Cubs are in town, everything's so goddamn busy too. It's hard, like all the bars and restaurants and stuff. It's a shit show because Cubs fans like to go up there and party.
Yeah, going around downtown, they got the water down there. They got the Fonzie statue. They got Laverne and Shirley. Like that shit is fun for people of a certain age, and it is a nice town to walk around.
Oh, the tiki
Yeah.
bars, dude. The tiki. There's
Tiki
a
bars.
culture of tiki cocktails and Bloody Marys. I mean, you get a Bloody Mary with a whole chicken, a cheeseburger, and a steak on it. It's unbelievable.
You can go see where Dahmer's building was. Like it's like a vacant lot now. I went over there. Yeah, it's
You can go relive it a little bit.
oh yeah, those were the days back when I was on the streets as a male prostitute. Oh, that was fun.
That was a good time.
Maybe you should set up a little cart there selling masks
Yeah.
right in front of the Dahmer empty
Yeah.
lot.
So no, I should have a food cart where everything's like named human stuff. Like you know, you want some hot dog with toes. Anyway, yeah, that's all I got. So I gave my my ranter calendar to Michael, so I have no idea whose birthday's coming up. I just know whose birthday's passed. I need to order another one for myself.
You know what? If you would have let me know, I would have had it here so that I could tell you.
I didn't let you know. So
yeah,
if
we'll do
it's your
that next time.
birthday coming up, happy birthday.
Happy It was my birthday. Nobody else's birthday matters.
Yeah, it's true. Once it's Lyle's birthday, it's like
Except for Chris's.
he gets the whole month.
One thing I do have, if you want to jump into this, is since Lyle kind of mentioned it,
I do.
Bill Sugas Bible reading from the Bleacher Bum Bible book.
Thank God that was Nostradamus. I knew Bill was coming, and I was like, "Oh God, Bill, what did you do?" But it was
Right.
Nostradamus. I was
Bill-
confused.
Bill needs to clean that chair.
Yeah.
But just so everybody knows, I'm going to post the full video on the Ranchers. So if you want to see these things in their full glory, you got to pay. You got to be part of the group. There's more to this. I edit these down a little bit so that they fit into the show a little bit better. But here's Bill with another reading from the BBBB.
Oh, hey, Bill.
Number 53. Thou shalt not commit adultery. From Exodus 20, verse 14, the 7th commandment. Some people will tell you you can be a fan of more than one team. Nope. You can be friends with another team, maybe get together with the team for coffee sometimes, but you can only be a fan of one team. If those two teams were to match up head to head, you aren't having a threesome. Once you start making out with that other team, Cubs ain't going to give it up. No sloppy seconds in Wrigley Field. The word of the cotton, praise be to Michael.
Praise be.
That's not in your book, is it? That's something he added, right? The praise.
Yeah, he added that. But it is so funny to see like which ones Bill chooses. And he's sitting there talking about threesomes and sloppy seconds and all this.
Was that directed at me, Michael? Are we fighting?
No, oh come on! You are 100% a Boston fan.
You're right. If I told,
Like I said, you can hang out. You can hang out with the Cubs. You can go have coffee with them or whatever. But there is no situation in which if they matched up, you would be a Cubs fan.
No, we would be at war.
And we do have to get you out here for that Cubs Boston series. So we need to talk about that at some point. Like,
I know we do, because I have another trip around the same time, so I'm trying to see if I can make it a stop on the way west.
Yeah, because I'm noticing, and this is just a bit of advice to everybody too, that I needed tickets for a July 6th game, and my sister will be in town and stuff. And, there were pretty slim pickings because we needed 9 to get in there. So if you're ever trying to go into a group or get something done for especially a weekend game, and it is not cheap, $80 for upper deck. I paid to go to this game. So it's not the Cubs. People are excited. The Cubs are kind of back. When Chicago starts getting excited about the Cubs, it could be a really tough ticket sometimes. So.
But it's really fun at the stadium.
It rocks. No, it's fun. And so hopefully the Cubs can
Although
hang
lots-
on and keep making it interesting because it's been a
Lots
second
of people
too.
posting pictures on Instagram, though, Michael.
Yeah.
You know
What's
what I mean?
that?
Just you find you get all the fans who just are there to get the selfies and like hang out
Yeah.
and drink beer and not watch baseball. That's all.
Oh,
That's,
yeah.
that's how Michael is. That's why he goes. He's just a little Insta influencer whore. It's
Yep.
just,
That's all me. It's just me standing in front of not even the old scoreboard. I'm standing in front of the Jumbotron doing a TikTok dance.
yeah, exactly. Like, and it's all to promote the stupid Bible book too. Like it's, he
Crazy.
thinks it's the way at it. I am gonna share the link to that Bleacher Bum Bible book. It's only
Oh my
$6.
God. It's like week 7 of you. Just fucking spit it out once. Just do it
I
once.
said it perfectly. Bleacher Bum Bible book. What?
I
it was,
know. You struggle,
oh,
though.
oh, wait, you struggled. All right, hold on. I got the wrong. That's the wrong link. Oh, see,
So
I've been
the
freezing
best
up all
part-
day.
The best part about all this is like I asked the ranchers, like, hey, if you bought it, go out, rate it, give it a 5-star rating on Amazon so it starts to jump up. It's actually jumped like 2,000 spots in the baseball books category or whatever, which has been amazing. But I told everybody right in there that it's the best shitter book you'll ever read. Amazon won't let you put shitter in there.
Yeah.
So now it's just all these, there's like 5 posts, four of them in there talking about how it's a great pooper book. I love it.
Well, it is. That's where mine's going, and we're going to give away a few of these. I have some in my possession, and so I think we'll probably give away a few of these. I know you gave me a bunch to give to the Miguel and Jorge at the Spanish language broadcast, and who else did you want me to give one to?
Yeah, Crawley.
Crawley gets one. So anyway, that's pretty much the show, except for we got hashtag chance in the chat. We're going to give away a chance postcard
There's gonna be
today.
like 3 names in that one.
What?
I said there's only going to be like 3 names in the chance. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. But do it now.
There's 117 people watching right now, Michael.
Yeah, hashtag chance. All right, so I do have a TFC. Well, first of all, I wanted to point this out. This was kind of funny from last night's broadcast. You all know Mike Presnowski. He's been on the Son Ranto show many times. He's been on the roundtable. We've known Mike for years. But the camera caught him last night, I believe, sometime. I think this was in the 10th inning. In the 1-1 tie. This was after Merriweather started loading the bases with a walk. He had the leadoff walk, and wasn't looking good for the Northsiders, and the camera caught Mike Presnowski in the second row of the bleachers looking pretty worried about it. And there's this new thing going around where you can make a Simpsons of yourself. Well, this is Mike's new. Mike also yesterday, he ripped his Sammy Sosa hoodie on I guess it was an electrical box that had been left open, and he was pissed about it, and he tweeted about it because the Cubs shouldn't have left that thing open where he'd rip his shirt out. And I'm like, the only thing ripped was you, who wasn't right in the ripped shirt. But Joe at Obvious Shirts hooking him up with a new Sammy Sosa. That's nice.
That's rad.
Everybody who rips their shit when they're drunk is going to be looking for Joe to buy him a new shirt.
Yeah.
Especially if you keep promoting it, Danny.
Exactly. But here's, do you have a TFC? Because I just shared that one, but you already shared yours, right?
Yeah, I burned mine earlier.
Here's
and I don't know how to do it. So
here's mine. Here's mine. This comes from Facebook, and it's on this page that I blog to, and it's got this picture with it. It's an eyeball with a Cubs logo looking like it's sitting on some blue jeans, right? On some denim.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, what's going on here? And it's
someone's glass eye?
Yes. It says, Donna Cox Wilson says, I have a prosthesis and got a new one today. Look at my Cubs symbol. The last new one I got with a Cubs symbol was the year they won the World Series. Fingers crossed they do it again. So according to Donna's prosthetic eye, we're winning the World Series this year, everybody.
Michael looks like he's going to throw up. He got so uncomfortable there for a second. Dude, I love it, and I dare, if any of you want the Cubs to win another World Series, you need to gouge your fucking eye out and get one of these. Let's fucking go. Let's see who the real fans are, Michael.
You know, that's amazing that you can get like a logo like that on it. And I didn't realize they put them on sort of the back side of it because it just would look like an eyeball otherwise. But have you ever seen somebody out in the real world where they'll have like a shamrock instead of their iris? Like you look in their eyes and one eye is just like a shamrock or a skull or whatever the fuck they want to put in there. And it's the creepiest thing ever.
You should see Danny's penis pump. It's shaped like Ron Santo.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And there's 4 bumps and he painted it green. So it looks like a shamrock.
I call it my wooden leg. Yeah. So I don't know what that means, but I do. I'm going to, well, don't we have a Cubsler? We have a Cubsler. We have a change.
Shit.
Yeah,
I totally forgot.
We have a new
back by popular demand. Probably not going to be able to do these every single week, but and I will not be doing a voicemail this time. That was really hard. I will maybe send a postcard of this to you with some notes. But,
lazy bitch. You couldn't even make us sandwiches. Now you can't do Cubslers. What the fuck? Well,
I'm doing the Cubslers. I can't do the voicemails. It is hard. But here we go. The first Cubsler of the year. And I will put this on the I will post this other places too so you can find it. All right. This guy wasn't great in 58. He only had 5 tries at the plate, 3 for fake OBP. Maybe only in those games because of his name. Yeah, it's a tough one. Coming out strong this year. Wow. So do it again real quick. This guy wasn't great in 58. He only had 5 tries at the plate, 3 for fake OBP. Maybe only in those games because of his name. When I give you the answer to this, you will understand everything that I just put there. But right now, you're going to have to start searching. See if you can find it.
And we will announce a winner on next week's show whenever we do that. And I'm going to share. We got 7 names in the chat in the chance. So this is your last chance to get in the chance. If you haven't done it so far, do it now. And let's pick this sucker. Boom. Okay, round and round she goes. We got Little Yumper, David Elliott, the birthday boy, Chris Salato, Tom Cooper, Artie Boucher, and the winner is Dominic Galoro. Congratulations, Dominic. You get a chance postcard sooner than later, my friend. And that is the show. And
you guys did pretty good today. You guys were all right.
you did wonderfully, Lyle. Though you really carried us through.
You're welcome.
I have to say that I was playing hurt because I ate an entire sandwich in under 2 minutes.
Right, that's fair.
So, what song should I play? I think I'll play PCA just because it's new.
No. Put the national anthem up that you did the other.
Oh, you're right. I'll play the national anthem, and then that'll be it. Yeah, you don't need here fly PCA. Go listen to that on our social media. I posted it there. So anyway, have a great rest of your day and spookog.
Spookog!
And remove your hats as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem, presented by Marathon. Performing the Star-Spangled Banner this afternoon is Danny Rocket.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof say